If I sold a property, let's say Bandra, Villepale, 50,000 rupees a foot, which is very expensive. 25,000 rupees goes to government directly.
Do you think prices will go down?
I don't think the prices are going to fall. They may even rise.
What about the affordable housing? That has been a pain point. What do you have to say?
I'm paying equally. Some things have happened. Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has focused and said, we are going to eliminate all slums in Mumbai in the next 5, 7, 10 years. Half the population of Mumbai lives in jhopatpattis. The saleable value of all those projects are much beyond the reach of any common man.
Do you think this situation will improve anytime?
Yeah, we have challenges. It's not that we can't do it. We need a war room to say, ye hona hi hai. We have to do it. Affordable housing karna hi hai. Jhopatpatti ko pura nikalna zaruri hai. No developer who does redevelopment or does slums or others, in the free sale component, they cannot make a price which is reasonable. The ready reckoning rate for land is high. The land under construction cost, the stamp duty, the GST, other charges which the government really puts in. So the government also is making a packet. Of course, they need money for the purposes of doing infrastructure. But today, they've gone overboard.
A building or a project from a competitor or another developer, I wouldn't use the word competitor, that you really like.
DLF, he's not competitor, he's a dear friend of ours. And I think I just recently visited Delhi and Camellia and the other projects. Wow, what a beautiful place and well maintained. It's extremely beautiful. There are certain areas where we still think there will be a pickup. So, like for instance, in some parts of Bandra, you see a price at 1 lakh plus. Other areas would be 50, 60,000. Now, that kind of bridging is taking place because newer areas of Bandra are coming up. Similarly, you will see price points increasing in several other areas which have become convenient because of the coastal road. I don't see it improving in the short run. In the long run, the answer is yes. If we do all this, we'll be a different nation.
Real estate is an important asset class. All of us talk about it because it's just not an investment decision. It's an emotional decision as well, right? So on the show today, we are going to understand not only the buyer's POV, whether you should go ahead and buy a house, rent a house, but the developer's POV as well. What do they think when they develop a building? What do they think about the buyers? What do we need right now? We've seen that big surge in demand in real estate in the last 5, 6 years. Will that continue? What happens with the pricing? In Mumbai itself, which are the micro markets which could work? So let's talk to the veteran himself, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani. He's the founder and chairman at Hirandandani Group. We are at Powai. Thank you so much, Mr. Hirandandani, for joining us. This is literally the poster boy of the Hirandandani Group, right? When we come here, there are gardens, there are buildings, there's so much, so many amenities. So first up, out of those 100 things that you do, how did you think of developing this area? And what goes on in a developer's mind when you see a place and you're like, okay, I want to develop something here. What are the things that you consider?
Sonal, very happy to be talking to CNBC again. It's a pleasure to have you over here and welcome you in Powai itself. The idea being that we need to see to it that everything is taken care of. This garden which you see, the homes that we build, the quality of the homes that we do, the kind of amenities which are there in the complex. So for instance, we have at walking distance, you have the retail, you have the restaurants, you have the hospital, you have the schools, you have every possible facility that you need to do. And everybody comes here for a morning walk. They go to all the amenities that are available in the complex over here. And that's what makes a complete project as far as we are concerned at the Hirandandanis. So, if one thinks like that, every person can make a beautiful place, no matter where it is in the world. And that's why it's not only Powai that we make Hirandandani Gardens, but every project that we take is thought of like that. And once you think of it like that, you can't make a mistake because it will always be right every time because it's not me, it's you who is going to be over there. And I think of it if I was in your place, what would I want and need? And we give it all the time.
Okay, so these are some emotional aspects. As I said, home buying is just not an investment, it's an emotional aspect to it as well. So, of course, you looked at a place and you thought, okay, maybe I can provide walking distance in terms of the retail amenities. I have a park here. But I'm sure it doesn't come without challenges, right? So, what are some of the biggest challenges that a developer faces or you faced over 35 years of this field?
When we came to Powai, there was no excess. There was no water. There was no three-phase electric supply. We had 20 trees in 250 acres when I bought the land, which was a quarry land. Today we have more than 5 lakh trees. And we are now talking about plants and trees which are 40, 50, 60 feet tall. So that's the difference that we do. So that is what is going to make a project into a project of difference that will cater off, and for a lifetime, even beyond me, people will still love the place. That's the idea which we do for conceptualizing each and every project.
So, we are talking about it when you did it was like 35 years back, 40 years back. Mumbai has changed drastically from those levels. We don't have so much land left. When we talk about holistic living or a better ecosystem around us, do you think that is still possible in Mumbai? Because one, we know that prices are skyrocketing. Do you think Mumbai will become affordable someday? And if yes, how?
Okay, so simple answer. The first building we sold in Powai, we sold 35 years ago at 450 rupees a square foot. If you followed me at that time, anybody did, he would do it. There's a building called Lake Castle just behind this building. That building I sold for 850 and 1250 rupees a foot.
Unheard of numbers now.
Unheard of numbers at that point of time, which was, I think, 1991. Was one of the finest buildings we made at that point of time. Today, the resale price of that same building is only 42,000 rupees a square foot.
I like how you say only, but yeah.
It's worth more. So you see, the point is very simple. We make something which ultimately will be a bigger value than today. People said, all right, you were very lucky with Powai. You found a location where the future of Mumbai was. So we chose another target. We chose Hirandandani estate on Godbandar Road. There were only 2 builders on the whole Godbandar Road in Thane, 20 years plus. Today there are only 42 big developers in Thane on Godbandar Road alone. So we led the rate and we sold that at 1,250 rupees. Today it's only 27,000 rupees. So all you got to do is follow me the new places that I go. You get a place for affordable price and that price will become 10x in 10 years.
But affordability...
That's a very simple thing. So I can keep on showing you newer projects of ours, which is a little away from the city center today, but that will become the new city center because we've gone there.
I take that point. That's been the case and that's how development takes place as well, right? But talking about people who want to live in the city, because while we are talking about the holistic ecosystem, the transit time to your office, the transit time to things around which are necessities, that's also very important. That's gone through the roof, Mr. Hirandandani.
I agree with you entirely. And this has happened for 2 reasons. First, number one is what is the higher FSI that is available. The second is to take and cater for the older buildings and old societies where they need rehabilitation. And the third is the slum rehabilitation. So politically, it doesn't make sense for them to ignore any of these segments. Because of that reason, they had to do it. But they have not only done that. They've charged a huge premium on increasing the ready reckoner rate, making all these charges happen. So it's become too expensive. So if I sold a property, let's say in Bandra, Villepale at, let's say, 50,000 rupees a foot, which is very expensive. 25,000 rupees goes to government directly,
Wow.
not even indirectly.
Wow.
So what happens is the ready reckoner rate for land is high, the land under construction cost, the stamp duty, the GST, other charges which the government really puts in. So the government also is making a packet. Of course, they need money for the purposes of doing infrastructure. But today, they've gone overboard. They're charging too much.
Yeah.
And hence, the cost of redevelopment and slums and others, the saleable value of all those projects are much beyond the reach of any common man. So that's the combination of problems that we need to do. So no developer who does redevelopment or does slums or others, in the free sale component, they cannot make a price which is reasonable.
Do you think this situation will improve anytime?
I don't see it improving in the short run. In the long run, the answer is yes, because the accessibility to new areas is improving rapidly. With metro, MTHL, connectivity, all these factors have really made a big change. So I think somewhere down the line that will happen, but doesn't look like in the next 12, 24 months.
Infrastructure is all that we can talk about in Mumbai right now. There's so much happening, but there's still a lot of angst that we are seeing in people, be it on social media, be it other forums where people are like, yes, you're developing new infrastructure, but what about the existing one, and why is it taking so much time? At this point, people have also said that maybe there should be PPP model here in infrastructure, public-private model, because when a developer develops a building, it's not just the building, it's the ecosystem, as we pointed out earlier. Do you think that is the way to go about developing the civic infra, or you think it should be left for the government only?
At this point of time, there's no choice. You can't leave it to any private or public-private partnership to do for a different reason. We had 190 kilometers of rail in Mumbai for 65 years. Western Railway, Central Railway and Harbour Line. But we didn't add much in 60 years. Now, in next 3 years, we are going to add 300 kilometers plus of metro. There's no way by which a PPP model can make up for the lost ground for this. The Cross Harbour Bridge, MTHL Bridge, was originally proposed in 1970 for 100 crores. We made it now for 22,000 crores. Now the point is, you postponed your building this bridge so many years. Again, you were going to provide a rail connectivity along with it. That has also not happened, which I think they will ultimately do. Make a separate bridge probably for the rail connectivity from that side. But what has really happened is that the deficit which has taken place so many years first has to be done. The PPP model can be an additive model in the future, like you have done for the second airport.
Yeah.
So that's a PPP model where the state government, SIDCO and others are participant along with Mr. Adani. And that's a PPP model which will work. But if you said all the metro is to come by that, this, that and the other, that's not feasible.
That's not feasible.
Similarly, in the case of Dharavi, we have a PPP model wherein you have the land, which is government. We have the people's model, and then you have a PPP where again a private developer with a share of the government is actually redeveloping that project. So yes, the answer is correct. What you're suggesting is right, but it can't be universally applied. So there'll be segments where this application can be done, and there will be segments where it cannot be done.
It cannot be. So it's case-to-case basis.
It's a case-to-case basis which we would really look at how it can be done. Let's take example also of national highways today. Part of the national highways are PPP, where private people who do infrastructure companies are going to be able to do it. And while in other cases it's not. And the NHAI themselves are doing these highways and then giving out contracts to do so. So these are different models and everything cannot work every time. Airlines, for instance, Air India was run by the government,
and now
it's a private completely, not even a joint sector private. So I think you can't really say this way or that way. It will be different for different projects, even port projects. The new port which we are thinking of in Maharashtra, the government is doing it. Now some people are coming forward and saying, okay, Some of the part of that project will be done by a PPP model where the government does A and they will do B.
So, Mr. Hirandandani, I take your point why prices are higher. In some cases, in South Bombay, some of the projects, 1.5 lakh per square feet. If we
2
talk
lakhs.
about 2 lakh, I'm speaking about some of the projects that I have, spoken about in detail. Or in Bandra, for instance, actually, if you go to suburbs as well, even there's no differential in pricing which is left. At that point in time, what can a citizen or person who wants to buy the house do? Do you think prices will go down? What are these prices factoring in apart from the government contribution that you spoke about? Is it the development in infrastructure? Will it stabilize at some level?
Again, as I said, in the short run, I don't think the prices are going to fall. They may even rise.
Oh.
So that part of it is definitely
Despite
there.
that increase that we've seen?
In spite of everything that we see. But in the long run, government can intervene and create pockets to be done. For example, there was a talk of the salt pan lands going to be taken up. They're being converted. They're now being liberalized. And the courts have said that you can develop those lands for the purposes of housing.
Development, yeah.
Housing. I think in those areas, you could really cut the price and use only the construction cost for the selling price. If you do that, you can bring prices down by 75%.
Wow.
At least.
That's at least.
At least 75%. Wow. But then that is a story which the government only can do. No private person can do. Because I cannot even buy land at a lower rate. Because if I buy land, the income tax department will presume that I have paid black money for that. Which may not be the case. But the point is, the law is such that I cannot buy land at a cheaper price than the registered rate under the ready reckoner.
That's true.
So, the answer is no in the short run, but government will have to work on these aspects of it to do it. And second, when they take up newer areas also, they have to see that. Like for instance, CIDCO. CIDCO does some part of it which is high income housing, mid and EWS. So, government is taking some of these lands, and then if you say, all right, this is the way to go, then it's possible to do. But otherwise, it's not possible.
So, which are the micro markets you think or you are the most bullish on, where you would also think there should be more Hirandandani buildings coming up?
Well, we're already in Thane.
Yeah.
We're already in Panvel, very close to the new airport. We are in Alibag. We are in Lonavala, Khandala and Pune. So all this on this side of the thing in the next 5 years, I think the growth will be at least 40 to 50% growth per year.
Okay.
So we do believe that the growth story in these areas is tremendous and doing it. Incidentally, the overall growth of housing in India, CRISIL report is out, 12% growth for the country. So you can imagine the high-end developers will do much faster. And that's the change. Consolidation is taking place. We had larger number of builders in before RERA. Now you have smaller number of more reliable and well capitalized builders. So you're more certain to get your house today than you were for projects which were pre to RERA.
You think it is still a good idea for any buyer to buy an under construction house, or should they wait, or things have changed drastically after
There is a
RERA?
big change, Sona. What has happened is that RERA guarantees the money that you put in, that it is going into the project. The balance money which is not gone into the project is to be escrowed into a escrowed account which they cannot use but for the project. And you need a chartered account certificate to say it's used properly. So I think 95% of the projects which are now coming into the marketplace, you're far more secure than 10 years ago. You'll always get fraudsters. But that's, they're 25% or 30% were fraudsters. I think it's now down to 3-4%. So unless you choose a bad guy.
The other phenomenon that is playing right now is all these new buildings. The biggest question that everyone has is, Mumbai mein ghar ite chote kyun hote hain? What is the answer to that?
Well, one is of course because of the price points being what it is. But the point is not only that. The question is, we're all victims of market demand. Let me give you a reverse story. we did a project in Panvel, which in Hirandandani Fortune City. And we estimated, or more than 40 years of experience, Hirandandani, we estimated X number of 1 bedroom, Y number of 2 bedrooms, and Z number of 3 bedrooms. Guess how we sold? We sold 125-30% of our estimated demand in 2 bedroom, 220% of the estimated demand in 3 bedroom, and only 25% of the estimated demand in 1 bedroom. And the 1 bedroom was even at a lower price point per foot. So we can't say, you can't be judgment. The market is market. We all think you can predict markets like the stock market or the real estate market, and I know it all. It's not true. The market is far superior to everybody and each and every one of us. And that's the real truth.
Well, I do take your point, but there's so many questions I have for this Dr. Hiranandani. So we'll go across to the next location and all the questions for him, of course, including what's happening in Mumbai. So stay tuned for that. According to you, which state of the real estate cycle are we in, and how is it different from the previous ones?
Well, we have to understand that the country grew, as I mentioned earlier, at 10% for the last whole year in terms of the real estate. This year, we anticipate it will grow at 12%, and the Mumbai region will grow at 15% of last year's business. So, Mumbai region, thanks to the infrastructure development, new airport, coastal road, cross-harbour bridge, all this infrastructure is leading to a wonderful new city, which is completely different. So, real estate is bound to grow. Number two, we are finding more and more people out of the city wanting to come to Mumbai. Also, when we launched the last project in Panvel of 1,500 apartments, 22% came from NRIs, from the United States of America, from Dubai, from Middle East and all these countries in the world. So Mumbai is now not only Maharashtra-centric or India-centric, it's actually world-centric, and lot of interest of all over the world, people wanting to come to Mumbai. So that's a new change which I'm seeing. Earlier, NRIs, 10%, 7% to 10% average. Today, that has increased. So I think overall, if you look at Mumbai and Mumbai region especially, I'm not talking about South Mumbai or this. You talk about the region, the Mumbai metropolitan region, going right up to Panvel and Karjat, here going up to Mira Road and thereabout, Virar also. You will see an exponential growth which is unheard of. And the quality of the buildings, the amenities, the connectivity is definitely improving. But you cannot expect that it will be as fast as we need. That is the problem.
Yes, you actually hit the nail on its head. It's not as fast as people need it. But you said more people are coming. But during COVID, we saw people going back to their villages, their hometowns, tier 2, tier 3 cities. Even they are seeing this massive real estate demand pricing uptick as well. So, any market that interests you generally from a developer perspective, or generally that came to you caught that in terms of improvement?
So, lots of people during COVID went to Alibag. A lot of them went to Khandala, went to Pune, went to Panvel, went to their farmhouses or other places, or their homes back away from the first home. And people are happy with that. So you're also going to see the next generation, especially those who are startups, those who have the work from home culture, and that's happening across the board. A lot of them are going to be outside the city center, and that's happening. So you will definitely see that change taking place. So the peripheral areas of big cities, tier 2 and tier 3, are also going to grow. So that's the positive sign of whatever we are seeing.
So while we're seeing that exponential growth come back, you said you expect 12% growth across the country, 15% for Mumbai over last year. That's volumes I'm sure you're talking about. That will convert into pricing as well at the same rate?
I don't know about prices increasing. Some people say it's going to come down. Some people say it's going to go up. I don't think you're going to see a major change in prices. There are certain areas where we still think there will be a pickup. So, like for instance, in some parts of Bandra, you'll see a price at 1 lakh plus. Other areas would be 50, 60,000. Now, that kind of bridging is taking place because newer areas of Bandra are coming up. Similarly, you will see price points increasing in several other areas which have become convenient because of the coastal road.
Right.
So all these combination of factors is creating new price points which are much more aggressive than they were last year. Very simple.
Okay. You know, it's just not real estate in terms of residential buildings. There's senior living as well, which you're tapping. There's data centers as well. Do you think we have a big room for the uptake here? Because we are not seeing enough happening in the country.
So India now produces more data than China and the United States put together today. And we only store 30% of that data in India. So the growth of data center and its downside is certainly going to, is definitely going to happen. But the other aspects of it, senior living, hostel accommodations, co-living, all that is definitely increasing quite exponentially. So you're now not getting the simple apartments that you had, branded residences. That is growing. People want services. They don't just want an apartment block. They are looking for something which will give comfort. I want to buy a house in Alibag, but I want it fully serviced. I go there on the weekends. I don't want any trouble. You look after it. I want concierge services. I want speciality type of things to happen. We never dreamt about all that before. I gave 4 walls and everybody was very happy. Now, 4 walls. Everybody gives 4 walls.
What are you giving?
What are you giving better? And that's why they come to us. Because we make that difference happen.
So, you know, this part of the industry is doing well. But what about the affordable housing? That has been a pain point. What do you have to say?
I'm pained equally. I do feel that both government and industry has failed to make that thing happen. I'm just hoping and praying that both industry and government work together in order to make it happen. There are lots of problems to make it happen. Price of land, construction costs, government levies and other things to be done, transport, communications, etc. So I think there is a challenge. And but we have to do it. There's no choice. Some things have happened. Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has focused and said, we are going to eliminate all slums in Mumbai in the next 5, 7, 10 years. Now, half the population of Mumbai lives in Jhopatpattis. But it is possible to do so, and a start has been made. So, yeah, we have challenges. It's not that we can't do it. We need a war room to say, ये होना ही है. We have to do it. Affordable housing करना ही है. झोपड़पट्टी को पूरा निकालना जरूरी है. If we do all this, we'll be a different nation. It's no point in saying GDP is growing up while we don't have all this happening. So the answer is yes, we need to do it. Jobs, for instance, we need to see more skill training rather than just education. We need a lot of that because we are not skilling enough people. That's a thing of reality that we need to face.
So affordable housing is one place where government needs to do more.
Government and private together.
Anything else where you think the real estate industry or the government can make things better for the buyer and the industry themselves?
I think one of the big pain points is ease of doing business. They have started it, the Prime Minister has done it, Mr. Fadnavis in Maharashtra has done it, but we have still a long way to go. I think we need to do that. Second, rationalization of taxes. You will collect more by reducing the taxes. During COVID, they reduced the charges for the purposes of additional FSI. We doubled the number of buildings which were got approved. So I think they need to think differently, similar to what was done by the Prime Minister for GST. He reduced GST, but collections will go up, the growth in the sector will be faster, and you will get affordable housing. So I think all the three put together.
I would like to know which is your favorite building in the Hirandandani Group.
The next one.
From the existing one, which is it?
No.
Which is the project close to your heart?
No, honestly, you'll be surprised. Whenever I finish a great building or a wonderful building and all that, and somebody tells me, Niranjan, what a fine building you made. And I look at it and I say, yeah, it's nice. But I'm so busy with the next one that I'm in love with the next one. That's me.
That's amazing. Improving from the previous levels. A building or a project from a competitor or another developer, I wouldn't use the word competitor, that you really like.
DLF. He's not competitor. He's a dear friend of
Yes.
ours. And I think I just recently visited Delhi and Camellia and the other projects. Wow, what a beautiful place and well maintained. It's extremely beautiful. I love that type of creativity. We need at least 10,000 such projects in India.
But at lower price.
Of course. No. When you create volumes, the prices come
Go down, yeah.
It's about clothes.
Yes.
If you make 20 suits, then obviously only Mr. Ambani can afford it. But if you make 1 million suits, we all can afford it. So I think it's all about creating volumes, which is going to work in real estate, similar to any other business.
Absolutely.
You create volumes and food, for instance. We created surpluses of food and solved that problem. Why not
Real estate.
roti, kapda, makan?
So you think there's enough demand in Mumbai despite so many buildings that we are seeing?
The answer is definitely yes. If you have growth in the country, if you have growth, there will be demand. In Dubai, they open a hotel a week.
Yeah, that's a different economy altogether.
Not a restaurant, a hotel. Why can't we do it in India? We can do better than Dubai. So we have to focus ourselves and do that. And I promise you, India can be the nation in the world. And it's possible to do so. We have that in us to do. And look at the intelligence of the people that we have. And of course, the Prime Minister and my chief, all fantastic people.
We need to contribute as well as citizens,
We need
of
to
course.
contribute also.
I totally take that point. It's always so much learning and a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hoping to do more such conversations on the industry and a lot more. Thank you so much for joining
My
me.
pleasure to meet you, Sonal. Thank you.
All right, with that, we'll take your leave on this inaugural episode on this real estate show. But stay tuned, we'll get you more on the industry and expert insights as well. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to CNBC TV 18, and for more news and updates, follow us on all the social media platforms.